Well, how's it going, everybody? For another video here. Being antisocial is not a personality. I know that that was a good meme for a bit on Twitter, but I thought about it. I forget what led me to make this video, but I think it just comes from the fact that you see so many of these folks who are just so antisocial. They don't want to know people. They're just like, oh, they're boomers, fuck them, who cares? And I say similar, don't get me wrong. Yeah, fuck boomers. But nobody wants to appeal to regular people. Whether it's left wing or right wing, deep down, nobody wants to appeal to ordinary people. And when I say that, I mean dissident people. Not Republicans and Democrats. Like I say, they'll aim for who they want to, but they'll at least try to talk to you. You know, Antifa. Whether it's like Rose City Antifa more specifically, or if it's Patriot Front or whatever, is that they're very afraid of getting involved with feds or, more specifically, informers, or potential informers or informants, and it's a very fickle thing, to say the least. It's a very fickle thing. But the thing is, this is one of the biggest failures of alternative. I'm going to put it this way: alternative politics, alternative to just Democrat and Republican. Some of this is because basically it is a social club and it's a way to make money. I mean, people like Vosh use that to make money. I'm sure even people like, American Johnson. I think that's what made me think of it. American Johnson and his wife Luna Oy. I remember seeing some bullshit on them. I forget how I got to it, but it's like it's just so ridiculous. And you see that these folks will try desperately to appeal to some degree, but you realize that ultimately it's a social club. It's a social club, and sort of let's do funny stuff. They don't want revolution. I don't think they do. They'll talk about it, sure, but when it comes to actually working with folks, nobody wants to do that. They're like, fuck them. We're not going to work with them, and so they don't. This is what we have to be aware of. How do you change it? Well, the only way to really change it is for wait the things to get bad enough so that they actually try to appeal to people. But I think that another way is just kind of, take the money out of it, I guess. If Vosh or, these other folks, with check marks on YouTube are making money about, talking about leftism or dabbing on, right wingers or whatever the case may be, then do that. But the thing is, it, while you still have people like Hassan Piker who just want to be funny and make jokes, and we rely on folks who say they're doing something because they're bringing people over. What the fuck are they actually doing? Nothing. You know, like I say, you have to realize is that, yeah, I'm a fairly antisocial person myself, so it takes one to know one. It does. It takes no one to know one. It just gets tiring, I think. Like I say, like I say, I repeat the same shit over and over. I do realize that. I do. And I've said that before, but it's such a tired cliche of it all, where they're just like, well, fuck you, and all this sort of thing. But I think that, like I say, there's this whole idea of, well, they're good people, but they just don't know about it, or, and this sort of shaming ordinary people. It's very common among the left, um, and the right as well, plenty. But there's this sort of, if they're not red pilled about, demographic replacement, then they're fucked anyway, so they're gonna die. And when you do that sort of thing, ordinary people are like, oh, okay, well, I'll go back to the Republicans, I guess. I'll go back over the Democrats, I guess. you know, and the sort of thing of, you're hurting the third world, this and that. It's like, well, you live in this country, you know. I don't think third worlders really give a shit other than they hate America. It's like I get it. I understand why they do. Um, but instead of larping about the third world where you don't live and where they would probably whoop your ass too, not just the ordinary normie, um, why don't you try to appeal to ordinary people? They don't want to. The Jason Unruhs of the world do not. They they just continue on saying, "Well, the revolution's right around the corner." And I've done it too. I've done it too. But it's this sort of, eventually things will happen this way, and they all just think it's going to be serendipitous, and by osmosis, they're going to be leaders and shit. It's like, no, it doesn't work that way. Never has and never will. So yeah, I think that's all I really have to say on that point. I just think it's ridiculous. Um, and hopefully, people can try to appeal to larger audiences and not simply debate them and try to own them. Anyway, that's all I got. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed that. See you later. Bye bye.